How you guys doing? This is good old Grandmaster Revan here. Let me get to here. Let me. Um, there was a something that really kind of wanted to get a look at. Now, this video is a response to a viewer, even though I'm already uploading it, but I want to explain on what the matter is here now. Sometimes you get these channels that would have no subscribers, no views on videos, or any views at all. Like I got a comment. Las Vegas shooting here. It's a comment I got.
Hello.
And it's from Jenny Stedmeyer. Now, it says this channel doesn't have any content. Okay, no content. Subscribe, none. Troll. It's a troll. So you look into this, there's a lot of channels like that. Just troll. Just troll, yeah. Now I've had, I mean, just insanely I got accused of not knowing anything about Vegas or weapons. Now this person, Jenny Stedmeyer, said, I know nothing of Vegas and anything about weapons. Now, I know some things about weapons, just some. I'm not saying I'm an expert on anything, just certain ones that I know about. And now let's go with Vegas. Which I told you know nothing of Vegas. Okay, you want to tell me that I know nothing of Vegas? Vegas is rich with history. Okay, history. Okay, Vegas, the mob, Howard Hughes. You know, and this is my part 2 response to that video to Miss Stedman. Now, Vegas is rich in history. I mean, huge history. Vegas was controlled by the mob. Okay, they controlled it big time until the late 70s. Okay, when the feds created an operation called RICO, and it's used by even the drug cartels, and they are deal with drug dealers, mob, and gangs and shit. So, now Vegas became big because of the mob. It started with the mob. Bugsy Siegel used mob money to finance the hotels. There's about two or three that was being built. A hotel with a casino inside, and a place where you could have a restaurant, casino, and hotel all in one, depending on your choosing. The mob controlled it all. It was controlled by the mob in New York and Chicago. Both families in New York and Chicago controlled everything from there. Part of it was financed by the mob in Chicago. Some of it was financed by the ones in New York. Now, Bugsy Siegel was doing the operations. He kind of handed on the money, even though things were getting done. The project was being over budget. Okay, it was being over budget. the cost came up to $7 million. That's pretty big back then. Okay, $7 million were pretty big. I mean that's like around what today's money, $100 million, maybe even more. Because if you think about it, the hotels and stuff of back then has been demolished to make room for another tickets placed on that same lot. Now, the new hotels that were built, a lot became haunted. Okay, now the Ghost Adventure crew went to Vegas. They went to that building itself, and there was a lot of spirits in that building because the building that was there, that hotel that was there, that was demolished, had people that died in that no longer existing hotel building. So Vegas has rich history. Okay, now let's talk about part of the history. Okay, the Jesus Christ, the Latter-day Saints, went to Vegas. They had a church in Vegas. They were kind of not wanted in Vegas, kind of not wanted, but they had a right to be there. But they also collaborated with the mob. Okay, they were partners at one time, and the Mormon Church had a brothel because politicians love brothels. They love the ladies, even though they're married at the time. They would go to the side and kind of meet the girls of the night. The Mormon Church used this to their advantage to blackmail politicians in Nevada. Depends on where the brothel was at. Now Howard Hughes had some hotels built, and he lived in one of them. That was he lived at the top. He had 2 floors that he controlled. That was his he was how you say, a germaphobe. He hated germs. Howard Hughes hated germs. He was a germaphobe. And he built the Spruce Goose, which is a museum piece. Now, there's a lot of mob shootings in Vegas, as well as New York, Chicago, New Orleans, Philadelphia, and other places. But Vegas was a big hangout for stars like Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, the Rat Pack. But at the time that the hotels and restaurants and were being built, the money became costly, and the job to build these hotels and with the restaurant and the casinos were costly. $7 million. Okay, $7 million. Now, this was it. This was like when it reached almost $10 million. That's when the mob was like, you know what? He's costing us money. The job ain't getting done at a certain time. It's time for Bugsy Siegel to go. He has to be gone. He has to disappear. So back in LA in '47, Bugsy Siegel was staying at the home of Virginia Hill. So somebody from the shadows came out and fired into the house. Just eradicated Bugsy Siegel. He was shot through the eye. Shot through the eye. Back of the head, out the eye. And just literally just insanely just annihilated. He didn't see it coming. Just till this day, it's the case is still open. It's a cold case, but nobody's saying anything. Nobody knows who shot Bugsy Siegel. He was buried in Los Angeles, Hollywood area in Los Angeles. Virginia Hill disappeared, gone. Okay, Virginia Hill was a very beautiful redhead, beautiful woman. Man, beautiful smile. I mean, just like wow, holy crap, like wow, holy shit. She disappeared. She went overseas to get away. Just not saying anything. She never talked, but in the early to mid 50s, she was found dead floating. Okay. Nobody knows how she died. Was she shot? Was she poisoned? Was she stabbed? Nobody knows how she died. But she was found dead in either in a pond or a river. This was 1953. She was found dead. A mistress or girlfriend of Bugsy Siegel. Now, there was rumor that at the time, only a rumor, can't confirm it, that she pocketed some of the mob's money, about $500,000 worth. That's the word, the rumor. Ain't confirmed or corroborated because nobody knows. Now, because this was the late 40s, early 50s, okay, at the time. Siegel was found shot in the home of Virginia Hill because of the money was being used a lot. The project wasn't getting done in time. Everything was going haywire, kittywampus, whatever you want to call it. But it became a mecca of mob, call it utopia. Mob controlled the casinos, the hotels, everything in Vegas. They ran the hotels, the casinos. It was a racket for them, a big money maker. They're making hundreds of millions, almost billions of dollars at the time. Now, if the mob was still controlling Vegas, they would be billionaires, almost close to be. I mean, they'll be. Now, certain mob families are billionaires. Okay, billionaires, like the Gambinos, the Lucchese crime family. Son of Trafficante family are millionaires and shit, billionaires, because they ran rackets. The mob still controls Tampa. The drug cartels control Miami from the shadows. Okay, can't confirm it, can't corroborate it, can't deny it, because I don't know. They're still in whatever. But I'm just saying. But Vegas is a mecca where you could go and gamble and elope to marry your special somebody, your significant other, and just worth. And you could go to the brothel and have fun. Man. The Mustang Ranch, the Bunny Ranch. You know, you could go and get your rocks off and whatnot. You understand? But Vegas does have a rich history. It goes back a long, long time. But last year, was a very insane thing. Very insane. Holy crap. He had one guy had all these weapons in his possession. How he got up there, Nobody knows. Nobody's talking. Okay, nobody's talking. Now, the one thing that really kind of shocked me was that somebody says everything was controlled by DHS, Department of Homeland Security. The FBI wasn't there yet. They weren't there until after the shooting. Now, here's a big kicker. Now, you have Circus Hotel and Casino. You have the New York Hotel and Casino in Vegas. Now, people were running for their lives. They're running for their lives. Rich history. I mean, it's like Vegas is strange, but it's a beautiful place. But the Mandalay Bay Hotel, the 35th floor, was being renovated. And 2 rooms were being used. The shooter was going back and forth from what the word was. Because both windows on each side was either removed or shot out. I mean, nobody knows. I mean, could have been before. Might have been removed. I don't know, for some reason. 59 people died. Over 100 were injured. The lawyer for Jason Aldean was found dead days later. There was witnesses that said that there were multiple shooters on the 4th and the 35th floor, but they only found one guy. They only found one guy. Okay, one guy. And they found the shooter, the supposed shooter. He looked like he either took his own life or a marksman or sniper had a pretty good angle and pretty good shot and shot the guy through the mouth and out the back of the head. Okay. Either that, or he might have taken his own life, or somebody killed him. Or it's really weird, but there were pamphlets around him, and they're trying to say, well, he was radicalized. The media was saying, well, the shooter was radicalized by ISIS or Antifa. But witnesses started to say otherwise, you know, because even though there were shootings that was above the 35th floor at the Mandalay Bay Hotel, there were other people were calling into dispatch 911 saying there's a shooting over here, and how, I mean, okay, now what kind of bugs me is that watching this footage on YouTube, it was a channel kind of explaining what the thing was. I mean, the whole video here was that a lady said everything was controlled by DHS, Department of Homeland Security. Now, could these call-ins be a distraction for either the shooter or shooters, or shooters, if there was shooters, to that they could go, and while everybody is distracted, they're firing at certain angles of areas of part of Vegas. Now, this has not been confirmed, okay, but people are saying, okay, the media did not confirm this because they refused to do so, because, I mean, we don't know who they are, but people are saying that were there, saying that we're telling that, look, there could have been shootings in this area, in this area, and this area here. Well, the shooting was coming straight from the Mandalay Bay Hotel in an area where people were sitting there and watching a Jason Aldean concert, where 59 died, 100 plus were injured, and while that, there was an audio of the department, the sheriff's department was. I mean, you hear it, and it corroborates of what we were being told here. You know what I'm saying? And there could have been. I mean, it sounded like there were multiple shooters, but not in the hotel. Could have been in other areas where they were firing from, and there's even a bomb threat. Was it corroborated? No, because no media access, no media. Nobody was there to be interviewed because of the other shooting and whatnot. But paramedics were told that they are being fired on by the guy at the hotel on the 35th floor. Now, at the day after the shooting, and after the shooter was found dead, the brother, for 2 days, talked to the press. Now, 5 months after the shooting, okay, think about this for a moment. 2 days after the shooting, he talked for 2 days with the press. 5 months after he talked to the press and reporters, he was arrested for child pornography charges and shit. Think about that for a moment. Doesn't that sound kind of weird? I mean, 5 months after he talked to the media for 2 days, he was arrested on child pornography charges. And months later, you don't hear from him anymore. I mean, you don't hear anything about the guy anymore. Could he have been silenced? No, I mean, just Homeland Security and the FBI were controlling everything. Witnesses say that, hey, look, everything was controlled by the FBI and Department of Homeland Security. And you have witnesses that were there started to question the whole thing. Now, while during the shooting, everybody were hiding under the table. And one lady was talking to a woman who worked at the hotel and casino, because she was worried about her son. The lady that worked at the hotel said she's worried about her son. So the other lady who was staying there at the building, at the hotel, says he'll probably be okay, probably safe. He's safe. It's all right. He'll be okay. And so they started talking, and the one lady that worked there said something about were there any, did anybody see anything or whatnot, or something of that sort. The lady said, yeah, I got on my phone, I got proof. So, strangely, the lady that worked at the hotel got out from under the table, walked over to the counter, behind the counter, shing, came back under the table, said, here, have a nice day. Wow. That's kind of strange, you know. Just slow, kind of went up, counter, have a nice day. All zero, like she wasn't even there. then there was a black lady that was staying at the hotel, or at one of the hotels and whatnot, and was talking to an employee of the hotel casino. And they're talking, and the lady explained what was happening, what she saw, and what happened. The person she talked to that worked there turned to another employee and says, "I told you so." That second employee said, "I know. We weren't supposed to talk about it." Whoa. Red flag there, ladies and gentlemen. Red flag there. Red flag there. Now, the weapons that the supposed shooter had, one of them was an M60, which is that it fires off like 40, like the rounds were like pretty good size rounds. I mean, you put it, it's how you lift the part of the weapon up, tie the chain up, and it has like a round, like a where you put it on the machine, the weapon, close it down, and then you start firing, and you can fire over 100 rounds, man, like rounds like you wouldn't believe. And you needed a bump stock to a bump stock is a attachment for the weapon, because the M60, like the AK-47 and the FN-FAL, which is a Belgian weapon, on full auto, I mean, you couldn't get a straight shot full auto. It has to be semi-auto. But the M60 is a full auto heavy-duty machine gun. Okay, that you need to have like a tripod type stand to put the weapon on, then just fire on people, you know. And it's kind of strange because the M60 has a pretty good kick. I mean, this thing would probably knock you on your ass if you didn't have the stand for it, because high-powered rifles, heavy-duty machine guns, and even handguns like the gun that Dirty Harry used, you know, the 44 mag, just to right. I mean, the 44 mag or the 357 mag has a pretty good kick. Now, to hold it, you gotta use two hands, not one hand, because if you do it with one hand, you like just. Or if you use it on two hands, you have to hold the handgun itself. It's a 6-round weapon. Okay, it's a 44 or a 357 Magnum. You got to hold it straight like both hands, because sorry. You have to have enough arm strength, because these guns have a pretty good kickback. And the M60 is a pretty good sized weapon. I mean, fully auto, and has a pretty good kickback, and it can knock you on your ass, you know. So the comment I got was, "You clearly have no clue what you're talking about when it comes to Vegas and weapons. Suppressor does not make a weapon inaudible whatsoever. What in the hell are you talking about? How have you ever started gun at all?" Let's talk about the suppressor. Okay, if you're using a say a sniper rifle, for example, or a Uzi, or like a handheld gun like a M9 or a M1 1911, that shoots a 45 round, or if you're shooting a Beretta or a Sig Sauer or a Makarov or a CZ75, handgun. Now, a sniper rifle, if you're at a certain if you're at a pretty good distance, okay. Now, say you're using a intervention, and you're like a pretty good distance far away, or no one can see you or hear you, but you could get a pretty good shot fired off, and nobody can hear it or see it. But if somebody gets hit and you see it, you're wondering how come nobody can hear that sound? Because somebody is using a silencer or a suppressor on the sniper rifle. They want it quiet, like the Barrett 50 caliber. You don't need a sensor for that, because that thing is so freaking massive size of a gun. Holy crap! This thing looks like you're firing off. You're using a fucking tank barrel as a fucking rifle and shit. But so fucking big. 50 caliber. That round is pretty like shit. 50 caliber. I mean, if you get hit by that round, that thing would tear you to pieces. One shot, holy crap, it would fuck you up. One shot. I mean, the round was so, just one shot to the head, holy crap. You don't need brain surgery because you ain't got no brains. Holy crap. But a suppressor can fire off a certain sound, because it would have that, or no, like a certain sound like a because the gas is suppressed, the fire off of the pressure, but after finding out the barrel of the gun that goes through the suppressor, it's almost a silent, or that, but it's more of a hollow, dense sound, a dense sound, but you can still hear it up close. But far away, no chance. No chance if I make it hear it. It can be inaudible if you're a pretty good distance away. Pretty good distance away. But let's see. Here's the sound of a okay. Sounds of a okay. Now,
hi, this is GT03235. I'm going to do a quick review of the Walther P22 with and without a suppressor. I've been asked by a few people who've been viewing my channel, I should say, who wants to see the difference and hear the difference. So today this is what we're going to do. First magazine, no suppressor. As of always, ear protection, eye protection. Clear. So, that was without a suppressor. This time, this is with an SAK, which is otherwise known as a SAC suppressor from Finland. Get my eyes on. You will hear a big difference. Clear. Hopefully you got some idea of the comparison there. There's a huge difference. A lot of the sound is taken away from the round by...
Now this is a silencer and suppressor difference here.
Today's question is silencer versus suppressor. What's the difference? There's clearly a misconception out there based on the number of comments that we get and questions that we get on the topic and the general discussion. So I thought, since we have both devices here today, that we could talk about it and hash out the difference. So on this hand, I have a silencer, and then on this one, I have a suppressor. And I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be clickbaity, guys. This is a real topic, and this is a matter of the syntax of which we have driven the discussion. So if we talk about this, the technical term is silencer. And what I mean by that is the patented device term by Hiram Maxim is silencer. That's what he called it in his patent. And I get a lot of comments where I might say the word silencer on camera and somebody says suppressor, it's suppressor. And no, that is not correct. It's actually a silencer. You could call it a sound suppressor, just like I would call that behind me. If I called it an automobile, you might think I was being facetious, but you wouldn't necessarily say, no, it's a truck, specifically a Ford truck. Better than Chevy. But continuing, I could certainly understand where people get that, because while this